Welcome to the Go Be Great podcast. I am your host, your expert life strategist, Karena Calhoun, and I'm super excited to be here with you all today. So, today is going to be another solo episode. I am going to be talking to you about a couple of things that have just really been on my mind recently. So, I decided for the month of May, I would only do solo episodes. So, grab your notebook, grab your journal, grab your pen, your paper, your pencil, whatever. Grab your favorite beverage. I have water here. Listen, these episodes, all of the episodes are wonderful. They are great. They are jam packed with tons of information, tons of wisdom and knowledge. And I love that. I love that for myself. I love that for you. I love that for the guests. In this month's episodes, I'm going to deep dive into some specific topics that I really believe we need to bulldoze through. We need to begin to overcome some things that I'm seeing in our lives on a consistent basis. With so many people that I speak with, there are so many things that are extremely evident, so many things that people share with me behind the scenes that they're dealing with and going through challenges that they're facing. And so I just want to bring this to the forefront so that we're able to really truly identify the challenges, find out what's at the root of it, and then begin to set into play strategies so that we're able to combat and overcome these challenges. Because listen, we have a ton of work to do out here, and we cannot continue to be stagnant, hindered, or just completely stopped simply because of, and I shouldn't say simply, because I don't want to diminish what we're dealing with, but I do want to say we can get over it, we can get around it, we can get under it, we can get through it, and we can really live the life that we were designed to live. So, here we're going to be talking a lot this month about just really life, purpose. We're going to be talking about confidence. We're going to be talking about fulfillment. We're going to be talking about some hindrances that we're facing. So, just tune in and again, grab your notebook, piece of paper, pencil, writing utensil, whatever you need so that you can create the life that you deserve. So, in today's episode, we're going to be discussing how to combat the inner critic. And I know we hear that a lot. I know we hear that a lot. The inner critic, just so that we put this out there, the inner critic is a voice inside of us that can hold us back from living really and truly our authentic lives. So, during this episode, we're going to be talking about, again, purpose, self growth, growth mindset, positive affirmations, personal development, and we'll throw in just a little bit of mental wellness. And so, we're going to just be talking about all of this throughout the month of May. May, of course, is the month for Mother's Day. And so, in keeping with focusing on mothers, women, uh, folks who put so many other people ahead of them, we want to focus on ourselves right now. This is not selfish. This is not selfish at all. This is actually so much more for ourselves and for those around us and the impact that we want to make in this world. So let's jump right in. We all, keep in mind, we all have dealt with an inner critic, that voice in our head that tells us we're not good enough or that we're going to fail. It can be the cause of so much self doubt and self sabotage. The inner critic is truly a survival mechanism that has helped us in the past to really avoid danger or possible embarrassment. However, it can become a hindrance in our present life, and this can prevent us from taking risk, from pursuing our dreams and living out the purpose that we were destined for. So, how do we begin to really move past? How do we begin to pick this apart? First and foremost, you want to begin to recognize the inner critic that is hindering you. So, the first step in combating it is, again, recognize it. Recognize it. Who is it? What is it saying? What is it doing? We often mistake the inner critic for our true self, but that's not who we are. It's just a voice that we've internalized over time. And once we become aware of this inner critic, we can start to separate ourselves from it and observe it objectively. Okay. A lot of times, this inner critic is a culmination of other external voices that we've heard over time. And I'll just let that marinate for a second. I'm going to take a sip of my water and let that marinate for a second. So, what we want to begin to do is reframe this negative self talk that we've developed. Instead of believing the inner critic's negative messages, we can reframe those messages into more positive ones. We can practice positive affirmations that focus on strengths and capabilities and potential. So, really, by repeating these positive affirmations, we can retrain our brain to believe in ourselves and our abilities. I know that sometimes people diminish the effects of affirmations. Uh, and I want to say this: you can repeat affirmations every day for the rest of your life until you're blue in the face. But if you don't begin to believe them, they're only words spoken. So you want to have affirmations that are going to take root and begin to blossom. Okay. So the next step in really combating the inner critic that is really hindering us, we want to develop a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that we can learn and grow through challenges and failures. We can learn and grow in spite of challenges and failures. It's really the opposite of a fixed mindset, which believes that our abilities are fixed and limited. If you believe that you can only um, make, I don't know, $100,000 a year, if you believe that there's nothing else left for you out there, that whatever career or business you're in is so saturated that that is the ceiling for you, then that is exactly what you're going to do. You're going to limit yourself. That's a fixed mindset. Now, if you believe that you can make as much as you put your mind to, as much as you work for, as much as you bulldoze your way through, then you will make exactly, you know, you'll keep growing. Keep growing. Now, by adopting really a growth mindset, we can see challenges as opportunities for growth and improvement. I remember back in the day, I used to encounter challenges, and I didn't know anything about this. I hadn't studied through any of this at the time. I was much younger, but I would think, wow, when I go through these challenges or have these challenges or different hindrances and things like that, I get excited because I feel like I've grown when I make it on the other side of it. And I would think, something's not right here. This is not normal. And that's because most people don't teach this. They teach you to do what's comfortable, live that comfortable life, stay within that comfort zone, and that's where you're going to succeed. Not so much. So I would always be eager to go through the challenges because I was excited to get on the other side of it. So, the next thing, really living with purpose can also help combat the inner critic. And if you didn't listen to last week's episode, go and listen to that. I talked about purpose quite a bit in last week's episode. It's a really quick, in your face, nuts and bolts episode, very short, but very succinct. Go back and listen to that episode. But yeah, I talked about that quite a bit. When we have a clear sense of our purpose and our values, we can align our actions with them. And that's key. That is so important. We can focus on what truly matters to us rather than what others think or expect of us. I want that to sink in. Dramatic pause there just for a second. So understand that by living with purpose, we can overcome that inner critic's voice that tells us we're not good enough or that we should conform to other people's standards. I refuse to conform. I refuse. I refuse to believe that I'm not good enough. I am just as good as the next person. I truly am. And you have to believe that in order to move forward in your life with your purpose and what it is you're trying to do. So, I want to give you some practical strategies for combating this inner critic. And this information, the information that I'm providing to you, is not rocket science. It's not something new and improved on the market. These are tangible strategies. This is information that you can really take hold of and begin to see change in your life. I wasn't born with massive amounts of confidence. I wasn't, um, I didn't get to where I am just simply by saying, oh, I have great confidence, my self esteem is high. You work. Self work and self growth is a daily work. You have to work at it every single day, every single day. There are moments that come in, even now, with as confident as I am in myself and my skills and my talents, my gifts, and the gift that I am to the world. There are still moments that come in where I have to talk myself through. And that's okay. That is perfectly okay. It's the getting over it that's the key, not allowing it to hinder you. Um, that's the key. So, practical strategies for combating this inner critic that we all have faced. Number one, you want to practice self care, um, exercise, prayer, meditation, eating healthy, really focusing on your physical health. Self care is ideal. When you feel good about yourself, um, it begins to show through. It really truly begins to show through. The next thing is you want to surround yourself with supportive people who believe in you, who will help you um, thrive and grow. I remember recently I had someone give me a phone call that said, "Hey, I wanted to talk to you about this situation that happened in my life." And I listened to everything that they said. I waited until they finished. And I said, "Listen, I want to tell you where you went wrong in this situation, where you were in error in this situation. And this is how you overcome that. And this is how you grow and become better." And they were so thankful. So when I say surround yourself with supportive people who believe in you, that doesn't mean have yes people. That means having people who are going to care about your growth, who are going to care about where you're going. They understand your heart's desire. This individual that contacted me knows that I'm not going to be malicious in giving them feedback that's going to help them grow. That is not my desire. That is not my goal. I'm not going to necessarily um, handle you with kid gloves, but I'm also not going to allow you to run and bump your head either. So surround yourself with supportive people who believe in you. The next thing is celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Please, please, please celebrate your successes. It doesn't mean how small how the size of it absolutely does not matter. It does not matter. You have the right to celebrate making your bed if that's not something you normally do. You have the right to celebrate um, eating um, sweet peas if that's not something you necessarily always do. I don't like sweet peas. So, on the occasions where I've eaten them, that's really big for me. That's huge for me because a win is a win. So, always keep that in mind. A win is a win. I'll give you another example. I drink smoothies every single day, fruits and vegetable smoothies every single day. I hate pears. I hate pears. I hate pears. I will not eat pears. Just taking a bite out of a pear. I will not do it. Blueberries. I hate blueberries. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. But I put pears and blueberries in my smoothies every single day. A win is a win. And because of that, I can celebrate that I've had pears and I've had blueberries, both which have great health benefits. So a win is a win. No matter how you win, win. Okay? Set achievable goals and really celebrate the progress that you're making. Again, I just told you I drink smoothies every single day. There was a couple of days where I didn't feel like eating a whole lot. I didn't have an appetite. There was nothing wrong. I wasn't depressed. I just did not have an appetite. So I did not drink my smoothie. But out of, I'd say the last 90 days, that's maybe 2 days that I didn't. But the progress that I did make is amazing. You're talking um, out of 90 days, you're talking 88 days that I drank a smoothie. That's phenomenal. That's amazing. So I celebrate my progress. Yes, there's 2 days that I didn't, and that's okay. And then the next thing that I want you to do is keep a journal and track your thoughts and your progress. How does your progress make you feel? What are the thoughts that you're having around it? I don't have such a bad, and I know I said I hate blueberries and I hate pears, but I don't have such a negative thought about them now that I ingest them every single day. Do I like the taste of them by themselves? No. But do I appreciate their health benefits? Absolutely. So, in that manner, my mindset, my thoughts around them has changed completely. So, keep that in mind. Then the next thing that I want you to do is challenge that inner critic's message with evidence and logic. And this is going to be a doozy because you're going to have to come up with strategic ways to really embed yourself with the evidence and the logic. For instance, going back to the smoothie, the pears and the blueberries. I don't like the way they taste, but the logic and the evidence is that they are healthy for me. They have massive health benefits. So I'm finding ways to make it happen. That's the evidence and the logic. I can partake in blueberries and pears. That's the evidence and the logic. Now, the last thing, and I know those are very minute examples that I've given you, but indeed they are examples. The last thing, depending on the situation, you may need to seek professional help. In this situation, maybe if I couldn't get past, the idea of um, partaking in pears and blueberries, maybe I could find a nutritionist, a dietitian, something of that nature. If it's something as far as maybe getting over your past, maybe you can seek a therapist or counselor. I have a therapist that I see regularly for situations that have occurred in my life and to actually help keep me on track, not just for the past, but for the present and the future. So don't be ashamed. That's not anything to be ashamed of. Seek a professional. Maybe you maybe it's a doctor, a health doctor that you need to see. Whatever the situation is it necessary to find to find professional help? Don't be ashamed of that. It's okay. It is perfectly okay. So, this concludes today's episode. Hopefully, this has been um, really helpful for you and you've gained some insight into how to combat the inner critic using um, a lot of the tools that I've provided for you. Remember, you are not your inner critic. That inner critic is a compilation of things that you've been told from possibly family members, friends, society, and you absolutely have the power to reframe negative self talk and really develop a growth mindset and live with the purpose that you were designed for. Okay. So don't forget to subscribe to the Go Be Great podcast for more episodes. And I will see you all on the flip side. Thank you for listening. Bye.